what I wanted to start with basically is just introduction to the Pressbooks guide. The Pressbooks guide as a user has been put together with you in mind, and I'm just going to pop into the chat just a link to the guide so you have that, but it's available through your Pressbooks network. I'll show you that as well. But a lot of anything that I talk about today will be covered in the guide. So if you need to come back to that for reference, then you have access to that. And there is also a Pressbooks YouTube channel. So this is the Pressbooks YouTube channel. We have a number of videos, whether you can see they feature Steele quite often. Steele is our product manager. He does a monthly update on new features that have been released through Pressbooks. And that's something that your network managers will often attend to get a glimpse of what's coming down the pipe. But we have also a lot of resources that are kept on the YouTube channel on how to do special things. Most of the user's guide, most of the items in the user guide, if I go to a chapter, most of them will include access to a video. If I scroll down here, I hope that this is one of them. It isn't, but often there is a chapter, a video at the end of a chapter that'll talk about how to do certain things. So they are linked through the Pressbooks book itself. Another source, just to point it out, Pressbooks, let me just pop that into the chat as well. I'll put this in there. This is a link to our webinar series. And you can see here that twice a month our customer success manager puts on a webinar. One is getting started with Pressbooks. So this is a basic introduction. It'll be very similar to what I'm going to talk about today. And then also once a month, there's an advanced Pressbooks publishing seminar. So both those are great resources. If you register for either of these, you'll get a recording of, you'll get access to a recording of those webinars. But if you attend them live, again, it's a great way to talk to Amy, our customer success manager, and ask specific questions if you have issues. Okay, so covered the YouTube channel. I wanted to introduce you to your Pressbooks network. If you haven't seen it already, it's up and it's running. University of North Florida Digital Pressbooks. And you'll see that this is built off WordPress. So you might be familiar with WordPress, and this might look familiar to you. You have a link here to the Pressbooks directory. Your network managers might be adapting and changing the look of the network as they get more experience and based upon your own feedback and needs, but it'll all start from here. Thank you for putting that in the chat. I appreciate the link to that. As you start producing books, one of the things you'll see here is there's a catalog for each network. And as you start producing books, your network managers will be able to add those finished works to your catalog and show off the great work that you'll be doing. I'm going to just pull over to the Pressbooks directory. If you haven't seen the Pressbooks directory, it's got a lot of the features. And let me just pop that in the chat. A lot of the features that you'll see in your network catalog as well. But the Pressbook directory right now has over 5,000 books published across 144 different Pressbooks networks. So as UNF produces material, anything can be included in the Pressbooks directory as long as it's over 1,500 words and it's publicly available. So we'll talk a little bit more about public and private books. But if it's publicly available, it'll be included unless you don't want it. You don't have to include it in the directory. You have that option as well. But if you want it included in the directory, it'll be there as well. A little bit about our directory. You can see here that we have, well, librarian on staff at Pressbooks who has put together a number of collections. So these are just some of the collections that he's put together, whether it's language learning, on healthcare, interactive OER. This is a great collection to get ideas around different ways to make your books interactive for students. And we have a Book of the Month Club and high enrollment courses. Further in the directory, if you want to search the different collections that our librarian has put together, you can focus on whether it's science courses, healthcare courses, student-led OER. This is a very popular collection to get an idea of some different open pedagogy projects or works that have been produced by students. So that's a nice collection. And you can search through the directory for other ideas, and we'll talk a little bit further about how to come back to the directory.